If you watch this video in full, I'm going to guarantee you that you'll hit 10K in the next 6 months. Now, why am I saying this? Because in this video, I'm going to show you the step-by-step actions that I would take to go from 0 to 10K as fast as possible. And if you don't know my story, last October, I went from $2,000 in my bank account to making $32,000 the next month. So I'm pretty much from average to top 1% in one single month. So I'm just set up my home base here with my workstation. Got a lamp here because it's quite dark in this corner. I don't want to put on the big lights. So that's what it looks like. Here's my book, Reality Trend Surfing. Got my supplements here, got some fruits there. And yeah, basically this is I'm gonna spend most of my time probably. I got my things also here, my visualizations. It's really it's very calm here. It's so quiet here. We do it on a pay on results basis, meaning if you don't sign 20 new clients in 6 months as a result of our systems, you simply do not pay. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but how would you be able to get clients within the industry that we're in?
That is a very good question. I was just wondering if you were available this week just to hop onto a quick call so we can just cover exactly that. Now, this didn't happen just by luck. This happened by precise action, knowing what to work on, taking action, and just being super intentional about every single thing I was doing. And if you can't just sit down and watch this 10-15 minute video, then just give up. You will never make it. If your attention span is that low, you might as well just get a job at McDonald's. So that being said, let's get into it. So in order to separate yourself from the norm and become something exceptional, you have to realize that you are different, that you're not normal, you're meant for more, that it's good to go out and take what you want. Now, I had this realization about 2.5 years ago when I realized, hey man, I don't like school, I don't like the way this is going, I want more, okay? This is what I realized. And what you have to do, you have to pretty much change every single aspect of your life, every single aspect about yourself. You have to become a new person because the person you are right now cannot make 10K per month. You're not the type of person who make 10K. So you have to become the person that makes 10K. Now, I have good news for you because the thing is, you can become a new person like that. You can decide, hey, I am this person. I will be taking these actions. I will be stopping these actions my old self was taking, and I'm going to make a bigger amount of money. I'm going to make more money. I'm going to become a better person. You can decide these things and just act upon them right away. Your past does not determine you. You can just be a new person tomorrow. And you could have just been a drug addict for the past 18 years, but you can just quit like that. It's a decision. It's a decision to be rich. It's a decision to become jacked. Everything is a decision. So just decide what you want and you will just go and get it. And to put this into more actionable steps, you have to change who you're hanging around. You have to change how you think, your mental models. You have to change the way you approach problems. Things like that. You have to pretty much become the version of yourself that can. Now, you might be watching this, you might be 17, 16, 18, 19, 20, however old you are, and you have this realization right now as you watch this video. You're like, hey man, I just want more. That's a very good thing because most people never even get to this point. So you're already further ahead than 99% of people, which I'm very glad you are. Now, we have to put this into action now. This is the first step, realization. Now you have to actually pick a model because realization is not enough. You have to actually take action on this realization now, okay? So pick a business model that does not require you a lot of upfront costs. You can start with no experience or little to no experience, and that does require you only a few hours per day to work on. What I went for and what a lot of my students also do, or pretty much all of my students do, is social media marketing, specifically a agency, SMMA. Now, the reason I chose that when I was still in the grind and everything is because it didn't require me to spend a lot of money up front. The only expense I had was really softwares, like maybe Go High Level, Calendly, and that's really it. I didn't have to invest too much time. I was still in school when I started my agency. I just came back 3 p.m. after school, go to right to work on my agency, and I had to have no experience. I just learned as I went, you know, it's like a learn as you go kind of thing. Every single business you start, you can't have prior experience. If you're coming from a job, how the hell would you have business experience? It doesn't make any sense. It's a paradox, people thinking, oh, I can't start a business because I don't have any experience. How can you want to have experience to start a business when you never ran a business before? It doesn't make any sense. It's a paradox, right? So you have to start somewhere, okay? And this is the beauty with this. You don't really have to, know how to be the best at, running ads, marketing, all that stuff. You can just learn as you go. Now, there's a couple caveats here. When you have an agency, you have to pick a specific niche. I would never recommend to pick any niches like e-com, for example, SaaS, because those are very, very, I want to say professional, advanced niches, okay? It's going to be very difficult to crack those. Stick to something that's super easy, that everybody understands. For example, home improvement, contracting. This is what my agency does. I work with around 150 roofers right now all across the United States, and it's my niche, right? Roofing. It works amazingly well. And I'm just giving you kind of the sauce here. I'm kind of exposing my niche and everything so you can just go into it and just start crushing it. But I don't really care. I just want to help people with this. because I know if I had the things I'm gonna lay out here, I would have probably be a millionaire at this point, okay? So I don't really care whatsoever. So go into roofing if you want to and just do what I'm doing. Now I'm about to tell you the most guaranteed way to really sign your first clients and eventually get to 10K per month in record time. Pay attention, write this down. Now that you picked your niche, let's say it's contracting, which I will highly recommend for you to do so. It doesn't have to be roofing, can be like even a sub niche, like for example, remodeling, can be decking, whatever. You want to start to sell a no-brainer offer, okay? Now, what does this mean? Let me explain, okay? So you're new to the niche. And I know there's a lot of people preaching, oh, start to charge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5K up front. When in reality, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you charge so much upfront? Obviously it makes sense for you because you want to make money, but it does not make sense for the client. Why would someone pay you $5,000 upfront when you haven't even done this, at all? Imagine this, you're a roofing business owner, you hop on a sales call with, some kid that's like 20 years younger than you, because most roofing business owners are a little bit older, and he started pitching on a $5,000 package. He can't show you any results, he can't show you any references, he has no proof of concept. Would you pay that person? I hope not, because I wouldn't. This is what you want to do. You don't have the privilege yet to charge $5,000 up front, like I do. You don't have the privilege, simply put. So you want to sell something that is so good that they would feel stupid to say no to. For example, this is what I did. I kind of organized a revenue share business deal, right? Now the goal here is not to make a fuck ton of money. The goal here is to get some clients, get some experience, and get some client results. The main goal is to get fans, clients, right? People who are ready to, preach or, have your back when someone calls them and asks them, hey, I'm on a call, with John right now. He's selling me on his service. Have you worked with this guy? And then your client can tell them, oh yeah, this guy's amazing. He's giving me so much business, like definitely sign up, That's the type of clients you want to get right now, right? The goal is not to make a fuck ton of money. You want to have proof of concept, so in the future, you can kind of have people call up your clients and sales calls and, talk to these guys, so that you want to have kind of show them. So you want to show them that you have proof of concept pretty much, right? That's the goal here. Now, the main thing is you don't want to be doing this forever. You don't want to be selling these low leverage deals forever. It's just stupid, okay? You want to sell 3 clients on this offer, okay? Very, very important. You want to have 3 clients be sold on this no-brainer offer, and you want to deliver these guys the most insane results ever. I'm talking, you want to be putting so much effort into getting these guys results that it is just unreasonable not for people to sign up with you. When you're up on other sales calls, you want to be able to show these guys the results you've gotten for your past clients. This is super, super important. Because you can be like the average person that's not exceptional in sales. Unless you're like a sales genius, you can probably convince someone to sign up with you without showing them results. But you want to be able to show tangible results on your screen to these guys, so they want to just sign up with you and they're not going to refund you or dispute you 2 days into the partnership. Very important, okay? This is also the #1 reason why I was able to scale so quickly, like last October, go from 2K to my name to making $32,000 the next month. Just insane, because I was able to show people insane results on my screen. I showed them, hey, this is one of my clients. He's been with us for 3 months now. He's been able to close 10 additional roofs every single month, and he only spent this much on that. And they were like, what? This is insane, I want to try this too, If you're able to kind of showcase this, kind of give a quick story on sales calls and show these guys that this has worked in the past, they will sign up with you regardless, okay? Super, super important. And this is like one of the most overlooked parts of running an agency, especially at the start. Because you have to imagine, like, these business owners are probably hopping on like 2, 3, 4, 5 sales calls a day with other people, and everybody's trying to charge these guys like 3,000, 4,000 up front. And when you come along, hey, I have this no-brainer offer, you only pay me when you get money. I require no money up front, you pay me when you make money. Obviously they're gonna take it because they see something new that they haven't heard of yet. So very, very important. And everybody nowadays, like in the agency space, is just focusing on, oh, marketing. Like, let me get as many clients as possible. While your actual service is really the most important part, right? Because if you have a shit service, your whole business is just gonna crumble, it's gonna fall apart, and you're gonna have to give a ton of refunds, and everybody's gonna hate you, you're gonna hate your life because like you're not giving anybody results. You're just scamming at that point, okay? And nobody likes to scam. It's just low leverage, it's low frequency, it's just not a good thing to do, right? Now, once you have 3 clients and you have given these guys insane results and you have proof of concept, you nail service delivery, you want to transition into a more favorable model for yourself, where you can charge them $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 up front eventually, after you have given obviously them good results and you have a proof of concept. You can't do that unless you have really actually nailed service delivery. Super important, okay? Write this down. You can't charge 5K up front if you don't know how to deliver a service. Nobody's gonna pay you. That's just how it works, right? Nobody wants to just waste money, get scammed. You have to be able to show these guys you've done this in the past. Okay? And obviously, while you transition into the more favorable model for yourself, you want to still obviously keep service delivery as a priority, right? You don't want to just disregard it, kind of move on to mainly focusing on client acquisition. Still prioritize service delivery. And at this point, it's really game over. And again, here you want to start acquiring like at least 10 clients. And here now you want to have like sell 10 people on this new offer and really get to like 15, 20K per month. And eventually you want to start to actually introduce paid ads into getting your own clients. For example, you know, instead of doing outreach, you want to be starting to do paid ads, right? Which is going to give you higher quality prospects, more committed prospects, and people who are like more willing to actually enroll with you, right? Because on outreach prospects, you might have to like kind of like fight for the sale and convince these guys, oh, you know, we're better than this guy. On paid ads leads, they're coming to you. Like they want help from you specifically, which is just way easier to close on. And so once you hit 20K per month, you want to hire a sales rep, you're going to hire a client success manager. You want to kind of delegate the things that just take up a lot of your time, which is mainly sales. That's the number one thing. And maybe service delivery. Maybe hire someone to help you, you know, with service delivery, someone that sets up the clients ads, onboards clients, things like that. And so you can really focus more on the high leverage things at that point, which is hiring, building out systems, you know, and all that kind of back end stuff. And at this point, it's really game over. I mean, you have pretty much hit 10, 15, 20K per month. This is what most people dream of. This is the thing most people never achieve because they just skip steps. They want to kind of start to charge so much money up front right away. And they just don't understand that that's not how it works in business, right? Nobody's going to pay you money unless you have really value to provide. Nobody has money to give away. That's just how it works, okay? And once you like really kind of automated your business in a sense where you have a sales rep, you have a few team members, I want you to start traveling. This is what I did too. When I hit my 30K month, and I just want to pre-frame this, all these things, all these 8, 9 steps or whatever it was, I did all these things in 30 days. From getting good client results to selling kind of a no-brainer offer to then being able to, you know, start to travel, you know, and making like a lot of money and just being able to delegate a lot. I did all these things in a month. If I did them, you can do too. And I documented everything. You can go back to my channel, you can scroll down a bit more and to my first videos. I documented everything, right? It's all there. So this is proof that this stuff works, okay? Now, like I was saying, once you kind of are at this point, like even 25, 30K a month, whatever, just travel, okay? And especially don't just travel alone. You want to travel with other business owners in your niche. And if you don't know any, which is fine, travel to hotspots and meet people there. Good hotspots are, first of all, Miami, which is where I live. You know, this is Miami right here. Dubai, not in the summer though, it's way too hot. Bali, for example, Marbella, right? Maybe Monaco, very good one. Saint Moritz, that's also a very good one in the winter, you know? Just online money kind of hotspots. Koh Samui in Thailand, very good one too, you know? Things like that, where you can like actually network, meet other people in the same space and just build connections. And then, once you did that, you're gonna just scale so much quicker. You can go from 30K to 100K probably in like 2-3 months, insanely quick. Because you meet these people, you exchange value, they give you things, you give them things in return, you build new connections, you meet millionaires, you meet all these sick people and kind of escape the matrix at that point. Because the thing is, what you have to imagine, all the peasants, all the brokies are kind of in one pool, and then there's a separate small pool of the rich people who kind of like escape the matrix. Obviously, I don't consider myself rich. I just make money. I just make a bit more money than everybody else. Where all the value is kind of in that smaller pool. Like these people kind of exchange value here and there. That's why they get richer. And the poor are just kind of in this big mass and they're kind of just like not doing anything with their life. That's why they just stay poor, get poorer, and just don't really achieve anything. So it's kind of like two separate pools. And you're like in the small pool with all the escaped minds pretty much, right? The non-slave minds. So this is how I want you to think about. Kind of escape the masses, right? This is like how I want you to think about. And you can do this in a year. Like I did this, like I was saying, it was October time when I did this. Now it is mid-June. I did this in, what is that, 7-8 months? I'm about to crack 100K a month. And I started this like whole thing like only 8 months ago. And to be honest, what I did is not even that impressive. I know people my age, younger than me, making way more money too. So what I did is nothing impressive. These are just the steps that I took and got me there. If you want to do the same, follow these steps. If you want my guidance with these steps and kind of like hold your hand and really guide you through each and every single step, and you can, and by someone who has done it, then hit me up on Instagram. It's @MarcoPGVO. You can see if I'm able to help you out. To be honest, I don't sell a course whatsoever. It's a very private mentorship. We have around 80 people right now in there. It's still pretty small, so it's very, very one-to-one. We have in-person events too. So if you want my help, hit me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.